Welcome, everybody, to the Modern Day Overthinker podcast. My name is Collin. I am your host. I've decided to do an episode by myself. It's been a little bit. This is the second episode I've done by myself, maybe the third one. But wanted to check in with everybody. It's Mental Health Month. I created some resources on the website, which is moderndayoverthinker.com. There will be a link in the description for that. And there's a button right on the homepage for all those resources for online therapy. I created it because I've heard from multiple people, and I've also had experience in the past having issues finding a therapist or a psychiatrist within a decent time period, because when we're seeking therapy, when we're seeking psychiatry, it is typically when we're at our lowest or when we need it urgently, like yesterday. So, if COVID has done anything, it has created new avenues for online therapy. It was a thing before, but it really has gotten more advanced. There's more apps, websites, all of that. And I tried to develop a list of as many as I could come up with or find online. If you have new ones or ones you have experience with, please let me know. But lately, a little bit about me. I've just been focused on work, pretty busy at work, working from home, which is great. I love it. I have to make sure I get outside, though, especially now that it's getting nice out. I'm in Iowa. It's been 90 degrees every day this week, which is awesome, but I haven't really spent that much time outside. Need to mow my lawn. Gonna take care of that tomorrow. I used to hate mowing the lawn as a kid because it was a chore, and, it wasn't really my lawn, Now that I have my own, it's a little bit different. I want to take more pride in it. I really let it go recently. I'm turning into my dad, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's funny. It is funny to me. Also, speaking of funny, I've been doing some stand-up comedy lately. I'm doing a lot of stand-up comedy lately. And I saw a post, actually. I didn't even read the article because I didn't want to get pissed off. But it was about art not being therapy. And it's not black and white. I mean, you can't really just say it's not therapy. I'm sure they go into the article and kind of break it down like it's still an outlet, which it is an outlet. Art is an outlet. And stand-up comedy, there is an art to it. It's not something just anyone could walk up and do. There are some naturals. They're unicorns, though. Talking about you, Zach Vaughn, if you're listening. I don't know if he's a natural. He practices a lot. He's a nerd. Love that guy. Love you, Zach. Yeah, I'll probably do some more shout-outs throughout this. Tell you who I'm going to have on next. I need to find a couple different people with some disorders that people have brought up. I'm going to pull up my phone real quick here just to take a look at some of the comments that I got, because I asked, I believe on TikTok and Instagram and probably Facebook as well, what topics you would want me to discuss and what type of specialists or people with experience with these particular topics have to say. So let me take a look here. While that's being looked up and I have a gap here in audio, I want to share about the next guest that I'm going to be having on. On Monday, I'm going to be recording an episode with James Lopez. He created Lobo's Salsa. He is a local Quad Cityan entrepreneur, small business owner. We're going to talk about the stresses of owning a small business as well as some other things, I'm sure. A little bit about him, background, all that good stuff. I'm also going to be interviewing fellow comedian Chris Starman. Just need to set up a time with him. And I have a couple others lined up. I haven't confirmed 100%, so I don't want to say their names quite yet, but going to keep the episodes a-rolling here. Okay, so I need to find somebody who suffers from disassociation, also known as dissociated identity disorder, Stockholm syndrome, body dysmorphia, narcissistic tendencies, bipolar disorder I've gone through already, but I can get somebody else on here, I'm sure. But yeah, if you know anybody that suffers with any of those disorders, have them reach out to me. I'd love to have them on. I can do it virtually if we need to. But yeah, what else? Self-awareness. That's something that's been very important to me. Just because I've never been so self-aware before in my life until recently. I'm also just hyper aware of what's going on around me for the most part. Still a lot of work to do. That's another thing I've realized is I always have something to work on. I'm never going to be perfect, of course. It's just not realistic. I'm never going to be able to accomplish everything I want to accomplish. So there's always something for me to work on. And, I'm always going to fall short of certain things. And I have to realize that and be able to accept that. I'm a very harsh critic of myself, as most of us are. And it's something I'm really working on. And it's I've called myself a continuous work in progress. I will always be working on myself. I will always try to be becoming a better person. Doing my best to do so anyway. So yeah, relationships are also something I'm trying to work on. Not necessarily relationships with, romantic relationships, but relationships with not only myself, but my family, my friends, old friends. And to anybody that has been my friend in the past, you're still my friend. I just want to state that because as we get older, things get weird. And we don't talk as much, or we may not talk for years, but if you message me, I will have a conversation with you, or vice versa. I've been reaching out to random people, trying to be better about that. Just letting people know, that you have people in your corner, It's very important. A lot of people have been telling me that they really like the podcast and really like what I'm doing. It's always nice to have reassurance because I've been trying to be consistent. I've never been this consistent before with episodes. So I'm trying to keep them coming for you. And yeah, it's just been an experience lately like no other with other people, with relationships with other people, because not only do I have a new group of friends that I've developed in recovery, but over the past year, since I started doing comedy, I have this new group of friends that are different than any other friends I've had in the past. I've had good friends in the past, and I still do. But it's just like there's so many of them, and we all support each other, and we all build each other up and want to see each other succeed. It's not like a competition on, who could do the most shows or who can have the funniest set. I mean, I've seen some friendly competition, but it's not like that. And I love seeing that. And I get to talk to these guys about, and girls. There's a couple of women that I have gotten to know as well that do comedy. There's not enough of them. Would love to see more women do comedy. I used to think female comics were a hack, and I'm a perfect example of someone that can change their perspective. I didn't think all female comics were like that, but there's like Amy Schumer, for example. She still hasn't grown on me. But I do like Chelsea Handler, and I saw her live, and before going, I was like, I'm not going to like this at all, but it was good. It was funny. She's hilarious. And I've heard other good female comics since, so I don't care what anybody tells you. People can change if they want to. The key is just being open-minded. So many people are closed off and have their own side and their own hills that they'll do anything to die on, even if it means sacrificing their dignity and respect. It's just ridiculous. And I've caught myself doing it before too. But those who know me know that my heart's in the right place most of the time. I think with the right head now. All the guys will know what I'm talking about. I don't think with the other one anymore. Helps that I don't use substances anymore. Substances, words are hard. I'm not going to edit that either. But, I just wanted to tune in with everybody and let you know that I'm going to keep things consistent and that I love you and I appreciate everyone that shares this podcast. And I've learned recently that if you do listen on Apple and you do a review, once I get 100 reviews, Apple will push my podcast more and I can get more listeners that way. So if you listen on Apple, please review. You can also review on Spotify. I believe that helps too. I don't know as much about how they push podcasts, but I assume reviews factor into that. And it's really easy to do on Spotify. You literally just give the amount of stars that you want to give it. You don't even have to give it 5 if you don't like it that much. Or just don't review if you don't like it, because it's going to hurt my feelings. I'm just kidding. I'm past that. I do this for the people that want to hear it, or that need to hear it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And let me know if you have any specialist or anybody with experience with, like I said, disassociation, Stockholm Syndrome, body dysmorphia, or narcissistic tendencies. Please let me know. I would love to interview them, and they don't even have to be local. They can be anywhere. I can do it through Zoom, and we can make it happen. In the meantime, make sure you're keeping up with me on social media, TikTok, Facebook, also Instagram, and I'm also trying to get back into Twitter. Shout out to Elon, whether you hate him or love him. He's a overthinker like me, so got to support our own at least. I don't have a lot of enemies or resentments. I love a lot of people. I love a lot more people than I hate, that's for sure. It's not even close. And I love you for listening, and I appreciate it. And I hope you have a good rest of your day, rest of your evening, whenever you're listening. Until next time, take care of yourself.